Hi, and welcome back to Rebel Health. I am coming to you from a seashore on the Mediterranean in Crete, island in Greece. And I want to cover a topic that has become so front and center in my practice these days, and it's this. Getting off of psychiatric medications is hard as hell, and I am so confused. Why aren't we talking about this in any kind of public way? There are, of course, people that are carrying this torch and talking about this. My colleague Kelly Brogan is spreading the gospel around this issue. The website and community over at Mad in America is doing this work. Green Med Info is spreading some of this information, but I want this to be an even more public and common conversation. My practice is full of people who, just being good citizens, got on psychiatric medications at some point. Maybe you go through a depressive episode when you're under a lot of stress with work or with school or in your marriage. Maybe you had attention deficit syndrome symptoms, and of course you didn't happen to come across a holistic psychiatrist who could figure out how to treat your sleep apnea or improve your diet so you weren't inflamed, and so you get on stimulants. You start on Adderall or Ritalin or Vyvanse. All of these well-meaning, law-abiding, good people out there are being started on psychiatric medications by well-meaning, law-abiding psychiatrists just doing what they've been trained to do. But then what we find 5, 10, 15 years later is that people are stuck on these medications. And if you ever have the thought of, maybe I want to get off of these meds, well, hell has no fury like trying to get off of these medications. So my practice is full of people struggling with that very process, whether it's SSRIs or SNRIs or atypical antipsychotics or stimulants or benzodiazepines. It's all really hard. This is going to be the first of a few different conversations on this issue, but what I want to do first of all is just raise the question of, why aren't we talking about this? We need to be talking about it more, because people who are getting off of these medications and finding that it brings them to their knees and it's very difficult, I feel like every time they're suffering in silence. They don't recognize that this is universal for this process, or nearly universal. And so much of the time they think this is just me, or maybe it's my depression coming back, or maybe this is a relapse, when in fact they're in the throes of withdrawal. So I'm going to wrap it up today with just saying getting off of psychiatric medications is as difficult as really any of the illicit drugs that we think of as hard to get off of. Heroin, cocaine. It's that level of addictive potential and struggle in getting off. And I think often it's even harder. I have patients on benzodiazepines who have been trying to get off for months, sometimes even years, and it's still a difficult process. We're going to try to cover more and more of what you can do to mitigate this, to make it as tolerable as possible. For me, it comes down to a few basic tenets of really airtight, solid nutrition, an anti-inflammatory diet with very nutrient-dense foods, so you're just filling your body with nutrition, which helps your body do the rebuilding process of making new receptors and making new neurotransmitters in the brain, but also it sends the body a signal of safety, of you're not inflamed, that you have enough. I think that's really important for all the stress that comes with the withdrawal process. Getting really good quality sleep with adequate, with an early enough bedtime and then getting enough hours is critical. I think coffee enemas have a role. I think that meditation has a role. Kelly Brogan has transformed the withdrawal process of so many people by having them practice Kundalini meditation every morning. And then I think that being in nature and surrounding yourself with positive community is also essential for that process to be as smooth as possible. So we'll talk more about this, but I think first of all, if you're out there and you're struggling to get off of medication, you're not alone. Having difficulty with that process is practically universal, and try to seek out resources with Kelly Brogan's blog and website and her course Vital Mind Reset, with Mad in America, with Green Med Info, with all of these different resources that can help you get safely through this process. Best of all is if you can find a holistic or functional or integrative psychiatrist who is well versed in supporting the withdrawal process, who can help you get through that safely and with a lot of support. And we'll keep addressing this really important topic. Okay, see you next time on Rebel Health.